Yo, what's going on, guys? Khordmaster is here, and it is, I don't know, 6 in the morning, 6:17. And something unlocked in Ableton Move for me last night, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit and sort of explore it a bit more with you guys here. So where do I start? I've been enjoying Ableton Move from day one. After like maybe a week or so of having it, I kind of went a week of not using it for various reasons, busy life, etc., etc. Somehow I got re-inspired to check it out again, and so I've been using it. And one thought I had in my head, I guess this is part of the reason why I got inspired to check it out, is I was like, let me connect this. I haven't done it yet. Let me connect it to a MIDI controller. So what I have in front of me is my favorite MIDI controller, the Keith McMillan, formerly known as Keith McMillan, rest in peace, keyboard C. And I use this all the time with Ableton on my MacBook, and I'm like, why don't I try using it with this? Because one of the issues that I had with Push 2 when I used it a while ago, and one of the issues I have with Move or with any way of making music that doesn't have a regular keyboard layout on it, is no matter what they do on the pad sort of section here, it's not as fun for me to make music, especially melodic stuff or chord stuff, as it would be on a MIDI controller that has a regular keyboard layout. So I was like, all right, let me connect it. So the first thing I did was I looked on the back here, and I know that on the back of this, there's a USB-C and there's a USB type A. I know USB-C is for charging as well as connecting to a computer, it says. Interestingly enough, when I connected this via USB-C to here, like I would connect this to my MacBook, I expected this to power it up and to be able to control this with USB-C, but it didn't work, and I was frustrated at first. I was like, all right, well, now I need to, I don't know. My mind kind of went all over the place. I was like, all right, let me get my OP1 field, which is powered up, and then let me connect that with USB-C, which I haven't tried yet, which I suspect maybe also won't work on that USB-C port, because I believe that port is only for charging this and for using this as a controller for something else, like, you know, controlling live with it, which I'll talk about maybe in a future video. I think the guy's name is Low Heat Beats. Correct me if I'm wrong. Just watched a video from him this morning, and it was very, very, very good on controlling live with this thing. So yeah, definitely check that out if you get a chance. Anyway, it dawned on me that of course there's USB type A here, and it says MIDI. Like, of course that's where I should be plugging this in. So I went and found a long like a longer than I would need, right? USB A to C cable. And I was like, it was like long. And I was like, I don't like this extra cable here. It's kind of taking out of the fun factor of this whole setup and whatever. Anyway, I found a smaller one that I'm going to plug in for the first time now, a small USB C to A cable. And so when you plug this in, it's not going to power up because the Move is not powered on right now, but it will be in a second. So when you plug this in, it powers the keyboard up. So that's the first thing. Now I can control the sounds in here using this keyboard, which is very significant for me. It's very significant, as I mentioned earlier in the video. Now I'm going to plug in this cable here, because one thing I don't like about Move is the fact that, I mean, I love the fact that it has a speaker built in, but I do not care for the speaker at all. And that needs to be said, because there are devices that are smaller and lighter than this that have, in my opinion, better speakers. Like when I use the OP1 field speaker, that's very doable for what it is, right? And so I would have expected a slightly better speaker in this, like something with a little bit more oomph, for lack of a better word. All right, so here we go. Let's turn this OB4, which is off camera, on. I have it kind of stationed right on the back of this desk, which is kind of where I like it at. And I'm just gonna go to stock track. Turn the volume down. All right. Oh, also I didn't acknowledge this, but yeah, here's my son, and I'm monitoring him because he's sleeping. Yeah, you probably figured that. All right, so the main two things that I want to talk about here, right, is that first of all, I'm getting more comfortable using this, right? So there's certain things about capture, how to use capture when the play button is on versus when the play button's not on, how to navigate which sections you want to capture, how to navigate different sections of a recorded clip, like whether it's 1 bar, 2, 3, 4, doing polyrhythm stuff on here, so you can have 3 bars some places, 5 some other places. So there's a lot of like stuff underlying stuff that you can do on here that are a lot more. Is a lot more that meets the eye, you know, which is really cool. But the big deal here is if I go over here and I like go to like a new track, all right, I'm just gonna actually create something from scratch now, just because why not? All right, so we'll turn this. I'm not gonna turn it too loud because I don't want to. Yeah, people are still sleeping upstairs. But I'm just gonna go in and do some step sequencer stuff. And let's come here. Let's slow this tempo down a little bit. See how quick it is? That's crazy that you can do this. Like the step sequencer combined with the capture, combined with being able to regularly record, combined with being able to press one button to like duplicate a clip. Like if I press this, I think if I press that, it's supposed to duplicate this. Hang on. Oh, hang on. I think when you do it from here. Wait. Yeah, when you do it from there. Okay, cool. When you do it from the note mode is when it copies it. So really cool. It's just so many. It's a really great, really fun, very inspiring piece of equipment. Now, so we're here. So normally, right? So this ways, right? Analog bass. You know, the second one is always going to be bass, and you might want this in key mode, right? Maybe people like in key mode for this. And maybe you're like, it's an F, and maybe it's go to Dorian. Shout out Dorian. A friend of mine's name is Dorian. All right. So you can do that, and that's fine. But for me, it's just better to use a keyboard. It's just so much more inspiring, and being able to just get in and just do your thing. So I press that. Let's see. New clip captured. So it grabbed a lot of stuff. But check this out. So I just want the last 4 bars. I just want the last 4 bars there. So now all I have to do is hold and do that. And I think it's gonna just grab. I know it is. It's grabbing the last 4 bars. Right? Capture and then quantize maybe. Maybe you don't want those. Maybe you just want these bars. So you have that going. And then, yeah, cool. You got that. Now let's come here. So another thing is, and I have to double check if it's the same behavior in live or not, but it always kind of frustrated me that you had to like press record and then like get ready to hit record again before the bar ends that you want it to end at so that you can stop recording. And so I would do so that it can get out of record mode. So I would do that in here. And whenever I would do that, like that was 4 bars that I just recorded. Whenever I would do that, it would always just take those 3 bars. So I'm like, I got frustrated. But apparently with this, maybe it's the same way in live. I'm not sure. I'll have to check. But like now, as you might have saw, right after the 4th bar ended, that's when I hit record to get out of record mode. And then it kind of keeps everything in time. So Yeah, let's keep going. So like the other thing, obviously having knobs on here, right? Versus like when I use Ableton and I just use this, like I'm not doing any sound modifications on there because that's not fun to click a mouse, and like I'll never get into doing that, right? But here, it's just really good. That's the main thing that I wanted to share. The other thing, I dropped something in the Discord earlier today, just basically saying that like if you have a control connected, it would be nice to be able to stay in this mode here, okay, and be like, all right, I got my 4 tracks, right, like my 4 sounds, my drums, boom, 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 and I want to stay in this mode, and I want to be able to record from this mode. I think that would be nice because you can't do that right now. Record doesn't work when you're in this mode because it expects record only to work when you're able to play notes. But hey, whoops, hey, I am able to play notes on a different device. So for me, that would just make it less. It would be less of a necessity for me to have to jump back and forth from note to session mode. So that was one thing. And then the other thing that I kind of talked about was, I guess when you're in this mode, in controller mode, right? Let's think about this for a sec. When you're using this as a controller for Ableton and you're in this session view screen, these all turn green. And these tracks that are vertical here are the 4 horizontal tracks in Ableton. Okay, we got that. And you can just press one of these. Or actually, no, that's actually not. Is that right or no? I think I said it the wrong way, actually. No, I think that's not true. I think everything is just reversed. It's just rotated, right? Because this is like a horizontal sort of session workflow, but in session view, it's a vertical workflow, if that makes sense. Anyway, in here, I would like to be able to press one of these keys while you're in this mode to be able to trigger all 4 at a time. Like trigger this section of the song and then trigger this section and trigger this section. From my understanding, you can't do that right now. You have to like press all of the buttons like this. Oh, we're on mute, that's why. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share today. Thank you very much for watching. I'm enjoying this piece of hardware a lot. I was going to say immensely. I think as time goes on, there's going to be more and more things that I just get intrigued about sort of checking out. So like one of the next things, is getting more comfortable with sample management and sampling on here. So being able to just sort of, connect my phone to the input on there and just have at it, for lack of a better word, just have at it. Yeah, so that's where we'll leave this video, and thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.